Yeah. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Give me a replay, gang. Coach Spencer in the house starting us off, right? That's what I'm talking about. Every morning we do this, y'all, 7 days a week. Our whole play is to give you mindset, skill set, or heart set, right? It helps you go further, faster, with less effort. A lot of times we don't realize how much of this stuff is connected to our thoughts, the way we think about things, right? It is an incredible world we live in, and most of it is of our own creation. Can you dig that? A lot of people don't realize how much they have to do with the experience that they are having. Listen to me. This entire reality is of your own creation. Do you hear me? This entire reality that you're living is based around your own creation. It is you that is deciding your own experience. Don't get me wrong, man. There are circumstances that you can't control, but that ain't what I said. I said you're controlling your own experience. Can you hear me? You're controlling your own experience, millionaire. Many people don't get it, but we're going to get into that today. The technique of the week, y'all. Many of you have been trying it. Many of you haven't. We're going to have a whole nother one. But check it out, y'all. Call some people on your list, and this is all you do. You call them up and you say, hey, man, after exchanging pleasantries, right? You get everything feeling good, and then you call them up and you say, after everything's feeling good, then you come in and you say, check it out. I don't know if you know anybody like this. If you don't, it's cool. But listen to me. Do you know anybody with 2 jobs who'd be looking to get rid of one of them? You know anybody like that? Man, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next is they're going to say either, no, I don't. Or they're going to say, yes, I do. Or they're going to say, heck yes, me. You hear me? It goes just like that. So I hope you're ready. YouTube checking in. What's up, Damita? So it's time for us to get this party started. I'm going to call in a couple seconds, but that's your technique of the week. So try that out. If you're committing, let me hear, I commit. Let me see that in the comments. I commit. If you're going to try the technique of the week, call 50 people, right? If you do it all week, then that's only 7 people a day. Call 50 people and use that. It's a referral script. And what it does is it makes rejection impossible. Ain't that cool? Most of your new teammates won't work because they scared of the rejection. Because, I don't know if you know, but this makes it rejection proof. This makes your business rejection proof. I'm going to call in on this live line. Let's get it, y'all.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
Please enter your...
Let's get it.
Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach. I'm a self-esteem development expert. And I'm somebody who's here to help you go further, faster, with less effort. We do this 7 days a week. Every Saturday is Miss Amma Nantwi. Amma, the CPA, holds it down with financial literacy. Every Sunday, my sister, Dr. Kadira, holds it down with health is the new wealth. And then I take it Monday through Thursday and give you curriculum. Friday is special because it's free coaching Friday. But no matter when you're tuning in, no matter when you are checking this out, hopefully on YouTube, hint, hint, we're going to be here for you 7 days a week. So what I'm asking you to do this morning is share this with an entrepreneur, right? Bright and early. Listen to me. Being a new entrepreneur can be daunting. Being a veteran entrepreneur can be daunting. You think you got this thing figured out, and all of a sudden a new test comes along, woo, that will knock you on your behind. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Some of us are like, well, why does God think I am such a soldier, man? Like, why does God think I'm so great? Here's what it is, y'all. You're being tested. The things that you're learning are going to become the things that you're teaching. Your tests are going to become your testimony. There's a message in your mess. Do you hear me? And this may come as a surprise to some of you who are brand new or maybe got this shared with you this morning. But check it out, y'all. Mindset is a big critical piece of how far you're going to get. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like my mentor told me, mindset is 80% of that journey. Mindset is 80%. Now, that's not to say you don't need the skills, because nobody wants to get 80% across a lake, right? But mindset is 80% of it. Mindset is more important probably than any other skill that you'll need to learn, because mindset makes these other skills possible. It's important, though, for you to be aware of some of the habits that you fall into, some of the thought patterns that you utilize without even putting any thought into it. It just naturally flows out of you because it's naturally starting to become who you are. If we're ever going to beat this gravity thing around us, if we're ever going to break these generational curses, if we're ever going to go stronger, higher, faster than our family and friends before us, we're going to have to curb our effort. We're going to have to curb these negative thoughts that come into our minds that were programmed into us. We are not our thoughts. Check this out. A lot of times our thoughts ain't even us. We think we're thinking when we're just playing recordings. Can somebody give me that in the comments? A lot of times we think we're thinking when we're just playing recordings. We think we're thinking, but we're just playing recordings. We think we're thinking, but a lot of times we're just playing recordings from other people's minds. So I'm going to give you 9 thoughts this morning that can change everything. 9 thoughts this morning that can change everything. These are habit thoughts. You hear me? This weekend's Kaizen Academy is going to be all about habits. If you want to know more about that, make sure you join the email list. We Are Millionaire Minded is the email list. Make sure you join the email list. I'm going to give you these 9 thoughts. I want you to be honest about which of these thoughts you have. You know, you're going to say the thought so naturally, it's going to be like, duh, of course, Hazik. And then I want you to examine that. I want you to catch that and examine it, because why is it such a foregone conclusion, this negative thought? Why do you believe your beliefs? Why do you believe your doubts, I meant to say, and doubt your beliefs? All right, we're going to run through it. Enough preamble. I want you to be ready, though. I'm just making sure we on point. All right. Everybody went and joined the newsletter real quick. Let's get this party started. Here's the first one, y'all. I'm not good enough. You know, every morning we do this affirmation, I am enough. Well, that's the opposite of I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. This is a limiting belief that is common to so many people, it would blow your mind. We all look at our friend and we see how much potential she has. We see how much power he has coursing through his veins, but he never sees it in himself, right? But check it out. Do you know they're looking at you the same way? At the root of a lot of our fears, at the root of a lot of our inability to act on our dreams is this belief that we ain't good enough. If you remember that most other people are thinking the same thing, it can help you make a choice to ignore this. Somebody give me this in the comments. It seems as though God gives all the confidence to the mediocre as a consolation prize. Isn't that something? It's like God gives all the confidence to the mediocre as a consolation prize. What I'm trying to say is sometimes you got to get out your way and get it on. You got to step out and take action, even though you feel like you probably suck. Because what will happen is the more you do, the more you're going to actually learn, instead of giving yourself all this credit for being an idiot and just saying, well, it ain't worth it. The more you do, the more you're going to learn. And you're going to mostly learn from making mistakes. What you got to do is fail forward a lot faster. You hear me? I said it yesterday, man. I said it a bunch of times. Check it out. You ain't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. You ain't got to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. You just got to start like every other entrepreneur who succeeded before you. You got to start with nothing like everybody else who started that home business before you. You have to start with zero like everybody who started at that job before you, because you don't have to be great to start. You got to start to be great. From there, All we need is that GPP, baby. The goal, the purpose, and a plan. You hear me? GPP, the goal, the purpose, and a plan. Once we have that goal and we know why we want it, and then we got a plan, we out of there. So whenever you find yourself thinking you're not good enough to start a business, you're not good enough to be the number one person in your whole business, you're not good enough to be the number one source for what you do in your city, that you're not good enough to be the number one go-to for what you do in your state, that you're not good enough to dominate and be the one that brings something completely different to this world that you're playing in, millionaires, how will it ever happen? People don't fail to, they don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And all we saying is goal, purpose, plan, goal, purpose, plan. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like God gives all the confidence to the mediocre as a consolation prize, for them sucking, right? How many times do you see your idea out there, but it just sucks? But I got another one for you. Here's the second thought I got for you. Here's the second thought I got for you. Here's the second thought I got for you. The competition is much better than me, so nobody's going to choose me. The competition is much better, so no one's going to choose me. Have you ever had that thought? I'm asking for honesty this morning. The competition is much better than me, so nobody would choose me. Nobody would choose my product. Nobody would choose my service, right? The competition is much better than anything I can come up with. So why would they rock with me? The great thing, y'all, about let me help you get rid of that this morning, right now. The great thing about the presence of competition is it means there's a demand for your product or service. Man, I was telling a bunch of our people yesterday, because we do financial services. Some of you know, some of you don't, right? If you know, you know. But a lot of times we think that like it feels weird so many other people help with credit. Now we help with more than personal, we help with way more than personal credit, right? But what I had to help everybody see was that if somebody's in a personal credit world, they're not your competition. That's a collaborator. Why? Because they probably need to offer business credit, right? Or they probably need some consumer financing, because they already offer business credit, but no one can afford it because the average American ain't even got $400 for a crisis. Okay. And then the third thing is maybe they're just sick of working so hard in their own business and they want somebody to come in and do all that heavy lifting for them. The point is we don't compete, we collaborate. Competition is for losers. So if I'm having this thought like the competition is better, so ain't nobody going to support me, I need to remember that competition is for losers. The winners create. The winners collaborate. Only losers compete. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Now, I know I'm talking a way higher vibration right now. I know that you're like, man, what? But I love sports. And that's all it's about is competition. Yeah, but if you look in the heart of the great ones, what you're going to find out is that they were competing against the man or the woman in the mirror. Even if a bunch of other customers like your competition, what I'm trying to say is there's still going to be people who are attracted specifically to you and what it is you do and the way it is you do it. Some are going to relate better to your voice and they're going to relate better to mine, then they're going to relate to mine, or they're going to relate to Mark's, right? Or then they relate to Damita's. But the whole idea is that you got to put your voice out there before somebody can hear you. Don't overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself, because you're way better than you think. Like my mentor always says, you don't even know enough about yourself to know what you can't do. How dare you give all that credit to the competition and none to yourself? That's right, Chantaye. If you're ready for number 3, give me a number 3 and a share. I got some more for you. We just getting started, baby. I still got 6 more for you. Is this ringing true? Anybody feeling like they've had thoughts like this before? Anybody had thoughts like this before? Anybody? What about this one? I'm never going to get there. I'll never get there. I'll never get there. Anybody ever had that thought? I'll never get there. Oh. Check this out. The devil is a liar, and he will fan the flames while you're sweating in the fire. Yeah, you're going to get there. As a matter of fact, it's not even an if anymore. It's a when. Why? Because you've made a decision. Persistence always beats talent long term. You know, it's like that story of the hare and the tortoise. Don't get me wrong. Success loves speed. Ain't nothing wrong with you taking massive action quickly. Success loves that. But here's the whole thing. Just because you plant the seed quickly, don't mean you're going to speed up the harvest. Do you hear me? You can start out with much less talent than somebody else in your field, but that persistence is going to have you overtake them eventually. Yes, success loves speed, but we're talking about the speed of seed, not the speed of harvest. You hear me? We're talking about the speed of seeding, not the speed of harvesting. Does that make sense? Here's a fourth thought I got for you. Here's a fourth thought that maybe you have for yourself and that you need to stop. This is the fourth thought habit that we're going to get. And this weekend, I'm going to show you how to create more. This weekend's training is going to be so powerful. If you've ever wanted to institute new habits into your life, you do not want to miss this Saturday's class. Matter of fact, let me put this in the comments real quick. Go to themillionaireminded.com and make sure you click on Kaizen Academy. It's going to blow your mind. Make sure you do that. We are millionaireminded.com/Kaizen Academy /Kaizen Academy. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. All right. All right, here we go. That's it, Dennis. Resilience over brilliance. Here's thought number 4. It's too hard. Man, it's just too hard. If you've ever felt that before, give me a "it's too hard" in the comments and then a share. Now, I ain't going to lie to you and tell you it's easy, right? But I'm going to tell you what it is, though. It's simple. It ain't difficult, right? It's simple, y'all. I ain't going to lie here and sit here and tell you that it ain't hard. Because if it wasn't hard, you know what I mean, then everybody would be reaching for their dreams. Matter of fact, everybody would have their dreams. People wouldn't be so miserable, right? But I'm going to tell you something. Ain't nothing in your life ever going to be harder, right? Why? Because if you don't do it, you're going to feel a pain of regret that will literally turn your life into hell. If you don't take advantage of the opportunity that is around you right now, the way you missed all those opportunities from 10 years ago. How many people remember 10 years ago? I'm talking about 2011, like it was last week. What am I saying to you? I'm saying the time is going to pass anyway. What you got to do is realize that just trying forces growth in you as a person. And for that alone, it's worth it. Because you have to be before you can do, before you can have. That's the way the laws work. The universe is not a respecter of person. God don't love the CEO more than God loves the janitor. The universe is a respecter of principle. God doesn't love the CEO more than God loves the janitor. It's just that the CEO is using better information. Millionaires, how do you get good judgment? From bad judgment. The bad judgment causes you to make the mistakes, which causes you to learn the lessons that causes the good judgment. So you've got to hurry up and mess up. You're never going to know what you could have accomplished if you haven't tried. You don't even know if you could do 10 calls in one day. You don't even know if you could sign up 10 teammates in one day. You don't even know if you could form 10 new business connections in one day because you've never set that goal. You've never added to that goal a purpose, and then you've never attached to that goal and that purpose a plan. But what if you changed all of that up today? But let me tell you what stops us. What stops us is this next thought. This is thought number 5 I got for you. If I was going to succeed, it would have happened already. Oh, man. If I was going to succeed, it would have happened already. Man, this weekend at Women That Win, wifey went through this whole presentation of how old people were when they started. Because what we always focus on is Mark Zuckerberg was a trillionaire by the time he was 22. And all that does is demoralize you. But millionaires, there are so many examples of people who did not succeed until way later in life. By the time they achieved their dreams, they were older. Yeah, they were wiser. But let me tell you what else they were. They were less concerned about what people were thinking of them. That's when they finally were able to bust through. They knew themselves better. So now they were finally able to bust through. They'd come to a great place of understanding about what they truly valued. And now they were able to bust through. You might not understand a lot of that yet. You might just be coming to some of these conclusions at this point in your life. Well, that means it's time for you to go. You know, I love the story of Colonel Sanders. Y'all know Kentucky Fried Chicken. Listen to me. He did not sell the rights for his recipe and the rights for his franchise until he was 65. Do you hear me? He was 65 years old. He was broke at 64. You hear what I'm saying to you? But he got up through the defeat again and again and again. Determination, hard work again and again and again. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. He had to go hard door to door. A lot of y'all love my mentor, Mr. Les Brown. But do you know Mr. Brown has a callus on his ear from cold calling prospects? He has a whole callus on his ear because that's how much he would hold the ear to his phone as he was cold calling so that he could get speaking gigs. He's now one of the most searched people in the whole world on YouTube, which is the number 2 search engine on the planet. And you know, if you ask him, he'll say that he was supposed to start doing what he was doing 25 years earlier. But he kept on feeling like, what? If he was going to succeed, he would have succeeded already. Here's thought number 6 I got for you. I just don't have enough experience, knowledge, or talent to succeed. I don't have enough experience, knowledge, and or talent to succeed. Anybody ever had that thought? Man, oh man. I don't have enough experience, knowledge, and or talent to succeed. Anybody ever felt that way? Anybody ever felt that way? If you've ever felt that way, put I don't have enough experience, knowledge, and talent to succeed, and then give me a share. Millionaires, these are the thoughts that pop into your head, and you barely notice that was disrespectful to yourself. You're barely noticing it enough to be offended. You just let the thought come in. You digest it like it's a real fact. You accept it like received wisdom. And the whole time, that's somebody else's fear that's been programmed into you. Ain't that cold? Man, if you've ever had this thought, appreciate that, Mark. If you've ever had this thought, check this out. I want you to remember everybody got to start somewhere. Just focus on being better than the people you're trying to help. Just focus on making sure you know more than the people you're here to serve. Just focus on making sure you got at least the next chapter in the book down. You know, I always bring up this example of the dude from Catch Me If You Can, Frank Abagnale, one of the most successful, if that's a word for a con artist, one of the most successful con artists history has ever seen. He's did everything from impersonate a pilot to impersonate, you know, police, all kinds of stuff. But one that blew their mind was he impersonated a sociology professor at Brigham Young University, BYU. And he said, yo, we get a lot of these others, but how the heck did you impersonate a professor? You don't know nothing about sociology. He was like, all you got to do is read one chapter ahead of the class. What am I saying to you? I'm saying that expert status is so subjective. All you have to do to be an expert is know more than everybody that's in that room. How do you measure whether you're an expert? The number of your sales, the quality of your service? But again, that's subjective, right? By the number of happy customers? Is it by the revenue? How do you say whether you're successful? There's always going to be people who don't know what you know. There are always going to be people who have less experience. Now, there's always going to be people with more experience, but there's always going to be people with less experience than you that can benefit from your help and what you have to offer. But what you got to realize is just because you're a number 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, so you can't help a 9, that don't mean you can't help a 3, a 2, and a 1. You hear me? Somebody give me this one. I'm not the kind of person who succeeds. I'm not the kind of person who succeeds. That's thought number 7. That's thought habit number 7 I got for you. That's thought habit number 7 I got from you. I'm not the kind of person who succeeds. You ever had that one? What kind of person is that, y'all? What kind of person succeeds? Because if you know, like I know, yeah, give me that. I'm not the kind of person who wins and then give me a share. This is the kind of thought you got to catch and release, like a fisherman for sport. You pick up the fish, that's too small, that's too petty, and we're going to throw it back. I'm not the kind of person who, that ain't what we do in my family. I don't know what I'm doing, Haziq. Mr. Ali, all this stuff just goes over my head. It's almost like I'm supposed to be poor. Millionaires, the devil is a liar, and he will fan the flames while you sweat in the fire. Do you hear me? Successful people come in all shapes and sizes and personality types, and you know this. You've seen evidence of this in your own life. I don't care if you know they're a summer, a spring, a winter, a fall, right? There are successful people in every single personality type. There's no commonality between the backgrounds or the educations or the connections or the good looks that they possessed before they became successful. The only commonality that you can find is the way they think. Think about it. You'll find that there are successful, famous, brilliant actors and actresses who don't even look good. So what's the difference? Again, it's the way they think. And that's why, along with your business skills, we're always giving you mindset. Because whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Somebody give me that in the comments and I'm going to give you the 8th one. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. They've done study after study on this, man. When you go into it feeling like it's impossible, you don't even have the desire to persevere. Because in your mind, you're like, what's the point anyway? Nobody wants to waste time. Your brain is an efficiency device. So why the heck would your brain even have you do something that's literally pointless? If you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. And then give me a share. Appreciate that, Didi. Appreciate that, Mrs. Goins. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Appreciate that, Kiwi. Appreciate that, Mike. And then share this thing with somebody that need it. Share this with somebody that need it. All right, here's number 8 I got for you. Here's number 8 I got for you. Here's number 8 I got for you. Appreciate that, Coach. Appreciate that, Vivian. Appreciate that, Dennis. Here's thought number 8 I got for you, y'all. What would my friends think? What would my friends think? And give me a share. Millionaires, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but you're going to have to take your friends out the equation entirely. I know. They're your friends. But here's the thing, man. They will make you lame for missing that basketball game. When what actually makes you lame is watching the basketball game instead of working on your business. You hear what I'm saying to you? I had a buddy yesterday, man, pressing me out because Goody Mob and Pastor Troy was doing some free concert in East Point. And he kept on being like, free, bro. That's the operative word, free. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. Man, when he said it that many times, I felt like saying, it's not that I'm saving $40, $50 on a concert. It's that I'm wasting the 2, 3, 4 hours on some nonsense that I could be investing into making the rest of my life the best of my life. What would your friends think will keep you poor? Especially if they ain't entrepreneurs. Man, sometimes it could be a significant other. I'm going to tell you this. Somebody give me this in the comments. If your woman ain't convincing you to be a revolutionary, she going to convince you to be a slave. If your husband ain't convincing you to be an entrepreneur, he convincing you to be an employee. You hear what I'm saying to you? Millionaires, if they ain't on the same wavelength, they probably going to understand very little of what you're going through, very little of how you think. And so their opinion ain't going to resonate as hard. Their opinion, regardless of what it is, isn't actually going to hold any value when it comes to helping you succeed because they don't even see where you're trying to go. Why would I accept your directions on how to get somewhere that you've never been? Why would I accept your directions about how to get somewhere if you don't even believe the place exists? Like, think about that. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, but let's say I was trying to get to Decatur and you don't even believe there's a place called Decatur. Why the heck would I listen to you on the directions? You don't want their advice. You want the advice from somebody who's been on that journey and can encourage you. I said it yesterday in some story on my Instagram. I was like, there's an old African proverb: beware the naked man who wants to sell you a shirt. Here's number 9 I got for you, and I'm out. There's too much to do, and I'm never get it all done. There's too much to do, and I'm gonna never get it all done. There's too much to do, and I'm gonna never get it all done. Millionaires, this is a thought habit that will break you. It's a thought habit that will break you. Hey, Mark, you a Kaizenite, baby. Don't miss Saturday's class, brother. You a Kaizenite, bro. Don't miss Saturday's class. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. All we talking about on Saturday is habits, how to habit formulation, habit cultivation. All right, here we go. Yeah, what your friends think will keep you poor. That's right. All right, there's too much to do. Mark Twain said it like this, y'all. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. And then they gave Walt Disney credit for some quote similar. You know, the secret to getting ahead is to get started. Yeah, there's a lot to do as an entrepreneur. That's true. But how you think about it is so important. If all you're doing is focusing your empowering thoughts, like how can I get it all done? Not I can't get it all done, but how can your brain's going to go to work finding it. You're going to wake up with solutions because that's what your brain does. Your brain really goes to work learning when you're asleep, and then it just breaks it down one step at a time. Look, y'all, I love y'all. It's time to go do our affirmations because after all, that's what we're saying here. We're saying at the end of the day, come reprogram your mind. So if you never tried this before, come try it. All right. We do it 7 days a week. Then we're going to do breathing exercise. I'm warning you. You're going to call in on this live line. We're going to be doing all these crazy affirmations. You're going to hear us like, whoa, like screaming and all of this. And you're going to be like, what's wrong with these people? We're reconditioning our minds. We're attaching emotion to a different set of thoughts, a different kind of thought habits. And you're going to learn what I mean this Saturday with the Kaizen Academy. Come join us. All right, love y'all. Repeat after me, millionaires. Say it like you mean it.